The Zarketh delegation had not expected a human gardener to represent Earth at the interstellar marriage treaty negotiations. Elsa stood in the crystalline chamber of the diplomatic vessel, her scaled emerald skin catching the ambient light like a living mosaic. As the crown princess of the Zarketh Empire, she had been trained in 17 forms of combat, mastered quantum politics, and personally led 3 successful campaigns against the Void Swarm. What she had not been trained for was the man currently kneeling in the biodome, examining a wilting fern with the concentration of a surgeon. "Hassan of Earth," her translator chirped. "The treaty requires your attention." The human looked up, dirt under his fingernails, a smear of soil across his brown cheek. One moment. This little guy's got root rot. Elsa's secondary eyelids blinked in confusion. The fate of 2 species hung in the balance, and this human prioritized a dying plant. The marriage treaty was a necessity born of desperation. Humanity had somehow, impossibly, survived first contact with the galaxy's apex predators. Not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through sheer, stubborn tenacity. When the Krillian hordes invaded Earth, humans had fought with primitive kinetic weapons and something the galaxy had rarely seen: absolute refusal to surrender. The Zarketh Empire, ancient and powerful, had taken notice. An alliance through marriage would secure both species' futures. Hassan finally stood, wiping his hands on faded trousers. He was unremarkable by human standards. Average height, stocky build, hair graying at the temples. His eyes, however, held a warmth that Elsa found peculiar. Most species looked at her with fear or reverence. He looked at her like she was another person in the garden. "Sorry about that," he said, approaching with an easy gait. "You must be Princess Elsa. I'm Hassan. They said you wanted to discuss the marriage thing?" "The treaty requires formality," Elsa replied stiffly, her voice a harmonic blend of frequencies. "Our union would prevent war between your empire and my planet." "Yeah, I read the brief." He smiled, pulling out a chair for her. "Sit. I made tea." Elsa's combat instincts screamed that sitting was tactically disadvantageous. Her diplomatic training said accepting hospitality was essential. She sat. Hassan poured something that smelled of earth flowers. "Look, I'll be honest. I'm not royalty. I'm not a diplomat. I run a community garden in Lahore and teach kids how to grow tomatoes. But when they asked for volunteers for this marriage treaty, I figured, why not?" "You volunteered?" Elsa's crest rose in surprise. "You were not selected for genetic compatibility or strategic lineage?" "Nope, just a guy who's okay with the idea." He sipped his tea. "The way I see it, you need a human spouse for the treaty. I'm single, I like meeting new people, and honestly, space gardening sounds amazing. Do you have any idea what kind of plants might grow in dual sun systems?" This was not proceeding according to protocol. "There are complications," Elsa said carefully. "Zarketh biology is incompatible with human reproduction. I cannot bear children, nor can you sire them with me. Many humans desire offspring." She waited for disappointment, perhaps anger. Instead, Hassan laughed, a genuine warm sound. "Oh, that's perfect." He set down his cup. "See, I have 4 kids. Well, adopted. 3 from the orphanage after the Krillian attack. 1 who just showed up at the garden one day and never left. Plus about 40 neighborhood kids who basically live at my place during growing season." He leaned forward conspiratorially. "I love kids. I've got enough for both of us. You want genetic legacy? These kids carry something better. They carry what we teach them." Elsa's translator struggled with the concept. "You raise offspring not of your blood?" "Blood doesn't make family," Hassan said simply. "Choice does, love does. Showing up every day does." For the first time in 3 centuries of life, Elsa found herself speechless. "Look," Hassan continued, "I know this is weird for both of us. You're a dragon princess. We are not dragons. The Zarketh evolved from, you breathe fire, have scales, and could probably eat a tank. You're a dragon, and that's awesome." His grin was infectious. "Point is, we don't have to fit some perfect mold. You need someone who won't pressure you about kids, who's okay with being married to someone from another species and who actually wants to do this. I tick all those boxes. And what do you require from this arrangement?" Hassan's expression turned thoughtful. "I want to keep teaching. Your empire has thousands of worlds, right? Think of the agricultural knowledge we could share. Think of the kids, humans, Zarketh, whatever, who could learn to grow things instead of destroy them." His eyes met hers. "I want to build something, Elsa. Not armies or empires, gardens, communities, bridges. There it was again, that uniquely human audacity. To look at an interstellar political marriage and see an opportunity for gardening education. You realize, Elsa said slowly, that as my consort, you would be responsible for diplomatic functions, state dinners, representing Earth across the Empire. Will there be flowers at these dinners? I suppose so. Then I'll manage. He extended his hand, a human gesture of agreement. So what do you say? Want to make this weird arrangement work? Elsa looked at the offered hand. In Zarketh culture, touch was reserved for combat or the most intimate of bonds. But this was the first step toward something new. Something that might actually succeed precisely because it wasn't following the old rules. She placed her clawed hand in his. One condition, she said. Teach me to garden. Hassan's smile could have lit the chamber without technology. Deal. Fair warning, though, I'm bringing the kids to the wedding. All 40, plus my 4. They'll want to meet their new dragon mom. Elsa felt something strange in her chest. Something that might have been laughter, or joy, or perhaps hope. The Empire will never understand this. Good thing we're not doing it for them, Hassan replied. We're doing it for us. And for the kids. And maybe for that whole preventing galactic war thing. In that order? Absolutely in that order. As Earth's sun set beyond the viewport, the Dragon Princess and the gardener began planning their improbable future. One that would be built not on obligation or strategy, but on choice, understanding, and the stubborn human belief that family was what you made it.